It's midnight and you're tuned into Nightline with me, Muhammed Hamdan. The top stories. NACCOL given until March 20th to resolve padi rice price issue. And Nurul Izzati wins gold at Asian Track Cycling Championships. Good morning. We begin with this headlining story. National track cyclist Nurul Izzati Muhammad Asri created a sensation by ending a 12-year gold drought in the women's keirin event at the 2024 Asian Track Cycling Championships in New Delhi, India. On Sunday, the 20-year-old rider mustered a powerful performance to overcome China's Tong Mengqi, who took silver, while another Malaysian cyclist, Anis Amira Rosidi, secured the bronze medal. It is the second time she made the top of the podium in the Asian meet, but her first in the exciting keirin event. The success on the fifth day of the championship saw Nurul Izzah adding more medals to her collection after winning bronze in the women's sprint event on Friday and silver in the women's team sprint alongside Anis Amira and Nurul Aliana Shafika Azizan on Wednesday. The last time Malaysia won gold in the women's keirin was at the 2012 championships held in Cheras through Fatihah Mustafa. Now, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has given the National Action Council on Cost of Living on NACCOL until March 20th to resolve issues related to padi and rice prices. The Prime Minister said while consumers want the price of rice to drop or be controlled, the country risks experiencing food security problems if padi farmers change their farming to other plants to increase their income. According to Anwar, the government requires a bit more time to set a fair price for the basic necessity that will not burden consumers and padi farmers. He stressed that matters concerning padi and rice are important issues which need to be settled wisely, considering padi farmers are also among the poorest groups in the country.
Pesawah padi mahu supaya hasil mereka itu dinilai. Kerana ini dikatakan security crop. Maknanya kalau semua tak mau tanam padi, dia tukar lain untuk mendapat pendapatan yang lebih, negara menghadapi risiko keselamatan. Jadi keselamatan makanan itu bergantung kepada pesawah-pesawah padi. Jadi kerajaan harus imbangi dan saya bagi tempoh kepada kementerian dan NACCOL untuk memuktamadkan isu terutama harga padi pada 20 Mac.
He said this when closing the Central Zone Madani Rakyat program in Kuala Selangor on Sunday. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, added that he has spoken to Padi Beras Nasional Berhad Bernas management at the recent NACCOL meeting, asking them to find ways on reducing imported rice and increasing local production. He also pointed out that the Agriculture and Food Security Ministry, KPKM, and Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry had been taking measures to tackle issues on cost of living and food prices, including by boosting production. Anwar also said that the government will introduce a targeted urban agriculture program in a shift towards increasing the country's agricultural output. He stated that KPKM, as well as other relevant ministries and agencies, had been given a month to submit suitable plans for the program. Meanwhile, Anwar said that there is no reason for the government to delay studying and upgrading the civil service salary scheme this year. He also said that the time is right to review the scheme and it has not been updated for about a decade.
Sebab itu penjawat awam ini sangat penting untuk kita tugas mereka. Dan kalau inilah prestasi mereka dalam KSN, Wandalam ke ICU KPPA lupa. Lepas tu saya tengok dia musuh sedih je saya. Tansi KSN, kalau inilah kita tengok prestasi penjawat-penjawat awam Di peringkat tinggi dia serendah-rendahnya, tidak ada sebab mengapa tak boleh kita kaji sistem saraan tahun ini.
The Prime Minister also gave his assurance that the government is looking for a solution, even though the country is currently facing financial constraints and economic issues. He added that the Public Service Department and Chief Secretary to the government, Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, would jointly conduct the review and it would be presented to the Cabinet. Anwar had previously been reported to have said that the review would be announced in the fourth quarter of this year at the latest. Meanwhile, at a separate event, Anwar has reminded the Unity Government's members of Parliament to maintain decorum and ensure the quality of their debates throughout the Dewan Rakyat sitting, which commences on Monday. The Prime Minister stressed the matter when attending a briefing session with ministers, deputy ministers and all government MPs ahead of the Dewan Rakyat sitting in Putrajaya on Sunday. In a Facebook post, Anwar said the MPs were briefed on parliamentary proceedings by the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said. He also said that the sitting would provide space for all MPs to touch on various urgent current issues, particularly those involving the interests of the people. At the opening of the first meeting of the third session of the 15th Parliament on Monday, all eyes will be on the inaugural royal address by Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim. This parliament sitting will last for 19 days, with the main focus on the debate on the royal address by MPs from February 27th to March 7th, and then the winding up by the relevant ministries for 4 days, starting March 11th. The Dewan Rakyat sitting will then continue with the tabling of several bills. Meanwhile, government MPs have also been reminded to address the people's concerns, such as legislation, food and ringgit depreciation, when the Dewan Rakyat convenes on Monday. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said that this was among the matters brought up during the briefing session with the Prime Minister on Sunday.
Dan kami telah membincangkan tentang terdapat beberapa isu dan rang undang-undang baru yang harus disantuni oleh ahli-ahli parlimen. Harapan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri agar pada kali ini ahli-ahli parlimen kerajaan perpaduan, kerajaan madani ini akan berhujah dengan lebih berfakta dan lebih berdasarkan bahan-bahan kajian.
Zahid said this after officiating the Rubber Industry Smallholders Development Authority RISDA's Penggerak Wanita program in Cyberjaya on Sunday. The program aims to empower women, particularly in economic and educational aspects. Moving on, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC on Sunday said that there were no statements made implying Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's involvement in any wrongdoing related to the awarding of contracts for the supply and management of government vehicles to Spanco Sdn Bhd. Its Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said he only made general statements and never linked the former Prime Minister to the case.
Saya sebenarnya hanya membuat kenyataan bila ditanya tentang adakah beliau akan dipanggil. Saya mengatakan saya tidak nafikan, saya tidak menolak, tapi saya bergantung kepada pegawai penyiasat saya. Jadi saya sebenarnya tidak lagi mengatakan tidak membuat sebarang andaian.
Azam said this to the media after the launching ceremony of the MACC Mersing branch office in Johor. He also said that Muhyiddin will only be called up to assist in investigations into the award of a government contract to Spanco if there is a need to. Muhyiddin, who is also the Perikatan National Chairman and Bersatu President, had denied allegations of his involvement in any wrongdoing related to the contract award and maintenance of government vehicles to Spanco. On Thursday, Azam reportedly said that he did not rule out summoning more people, including the Pagoh Member of Parliament, if necessary, to facilitate investigations into the case. The Selangor Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, successfully thwarted an attempt to smuggle 24 illegal immigrants into the country on a wooden boat early Sunday. Its director, Maritime Captain Abdul Muhammad said that the boat, without a registration number, was detected at 4.1 nautical miles west of Janggut River at about 1:30 a.m. The agency's patrol vessel successfully intercepted the boat after receiving information about a suspicious boat travelling from Indonesian waters to Pulau Angsa at about 11:45 p.m. on Saturday night. Checks on the boat revealed 14 Indonesians, including 4 women and 10 Myanmar nationals, including a child who failed to produce valid travel documents. All of them were then taken to the Marine Police Jetty in Pulau Indah for further action. The case is being investigated under the Immigration Act. Two men were killed in separate accidents involving 3 motorcycles in Keningau, Sabah early Sunday. The deceased were identified as 26-year-old Ryan Dahab and 30-year-old Juanis Uvil. Keningau District Police Chief Superintendent Yampil Anakgarai said the first accident involving Ryan occurred at 12:15 a.m. at Jalan Suktulit. Initial investigations revealed that the motorcyclist failed to control his vehicle, leading it to skidding off the road. Meanwhile, the second accident took place at the same location at around 2 a.m., involving 2 other motorcycles. Both riders were believed to have lost control of their motorcycles while navigating a curve before crashing on the roadside. Juanis died on the spot, while another male victim, aged 23, sustained serious injuries to his face and body and was taken to Keningau Hospital for treatment. Both accidents are being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Turkey to make statement at ICJ on Israeli war crimes. News from the Foreign Front when we return.
Ini adalah seni warisan kaum Melayu. Sekarang ni kalau kita perhatikan balik, yang mementabatkan tulisan Jawi ni kat mana? Semakin pupus dah sebenarnya tulisan Jawi ni. Tapi inilah sedikit usaha untuk kita teruskan legasi ni.
Saya adalah satu-satunya peserta Malaysia yang dapat siapkan test projek tu.
Kita harapkan dapat mereka lebih ramai pakar khususnya dalam bidang pekayuan ataupun pembuatan perabot.
Stream sekarang melalui Tonton. Mulut harus dijaga, anti badan binasa. Tiada lesen memandu, warga asing kuasai jalan raya.
Tapi kenapa you pasang?
Ada perut kan mesti cari makan mah.
Pemilik tempatan jadi dalang sebalik aktiviti pewa.
Untuk yang motor tadi tu you punya lah?
Ya.
Mana dapat? You punya motor ke ada orang bagi?
Ada orang bagi.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. Turkey will make an oral statement at the International Court of Justice during a hearing on the legal consequences of Israeli actions in occupied Palestinian land. Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced that Deputy Foreign Minister Ahmad Yildiz will make the presentation at the ICJ on Monday. Turkish Foreign Ministry spokesperson Onchi Kacheli said that UN General Assembly has requested an opinion from the ICJ regarding the legal consequences of Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories and its actions to change the population structure and status of the occupied East Jerusalem. He said that 57 countries and international organizations, including Turkey, have actively submitted written contributions to the ICJ. He stressed that at the end of this process, legal findings regarding the oppression of Palestinians will be presented. The hearing, which began on Monday, is expected to close on February 26th. Meanwhile, an Israeli delegation is soon expected in Qatar to continue talks on securing a pause in the war on Gaza that could see captives released. Prior to the latest round of talks, Hamas had said it would accept nothing less than a complete cessation of fighting and an end to the siege of Gaza, something Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had dismissed, while emphasizing total victory over the armed group. In the meantime, at least 10 Palestinians were killed in overnight Zionist shelling of a home in northern Gaza's Beit Lahia, as dozens more were killed in strikes across the rest of the besieged enclave on Sunday. Back home, Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan said Malaysia's strong stance regarding Israel's occupation of Palestine, as expressed through verbal statements at the International Court of Justice, ICJ, at The Hague last Thursday, has garnered support from various countries. The foreign minister said Malaysia received support from the international community, including from Europe, the Middle East, Africa and Asia.
Kita telah pun bersama-sama membentangkan hala tuju untuk gencatan senjata yang kekal dengan cara mengadakan sistem dua negara, iaitu two-state solution, ya, yang mana ia perlu kita pastikan negara Palestin yang merdeka mesti diakui dan menjadi sebagai sebahagian anggota masyarakat antarabangsa dan menjadi anggota Majlis Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu.
Muhammad said this after presenting awards to the winners of the Muhammad Hassan Cup Community Football Championship in Rembau Negeri Sembilan on Sunday. He added a total of 53 countries presented their objections and views firmly to the ICJ from February 16th to 24th. Although 2 or 3 countries supported Israel, their voices were drowned out. Out that this time, Israel does not have many options other than to agree to a permanent ceasefire. The Rembau MP also said that Malaysia would continue to support South Africa's resolution against the genocide committed by Israel in Palestine. In other news, Cambodia's ruling party claimed a landslide victory in Senate elections on Sunday, setting the stage for former Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen's return to politics after stepping down last year. After nearly 4 decades of hardline rule, Hun Sen handed power to his eldest son, Hun Manet, following national polls last July held without significant opposition. Despite his resignation, Hun Sen made it clear that he still intended to wield influence. Earlier, the ruling Cambodian People's Party, CPP, declared Senate victory, with early results showing they won at least 50 of the 58 seats. The CPP planned to nominate Hun Sen as Senate President, allowing him to act as head of state when the king is overseas. Official results are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. Over in the U.S., Donald Trump cruised to a decisive victory on Saturday in the South Carolina Republican primary, blitzing his rival and continuing his march to the nomination. Trump completed a sweep of the first 4 major nominating contests, converting a year of blockbuster polls into a likely insurmountable lead. His rival, Nikki Haley, repeatedly questioned the 77-year-old former president's mental fitness and warned another Trump presidency would bring chaos. The 52-year-old former UN ambassador underscored the point by describing the disgusting comments Trump had made to black conservatives on the campaign trail. Trump, who is seeking to move quickly from the primary to the election proper, made clear that he is looking beyond Haley to a likely November contest against Biden. Kane's double ends Bayern's poor run. Sports after this breather.
Tiada lesen memandu, warga asing kuasai jalan raya.
Tapi kenapa you macam ada perut kan mesti cari makan mah.
Pemilik tempatan jadi dalang sebalik aktiviti pewa.
Untuk yang motor tadi tu you punya lah. Ya. Mana dapat you punya motor ke ada orang bagi? Ada orang bagi.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Ini adalah seni warisan kaum Melayu. Sekarang ni kalau kita perhatikan balik, yang mementabatkan tulisan Jawi ni kat mana? Semakin pupus dah sebenarnya tulisan Jawi ni. Tapi inilah sedikit usaha untuk kita teruskan legasi ni.
Saya adalah satu-satunya peserta Malaysia yang dapat siapkan test projek tu.
Kita harapkan dapat mereka lebih ramai pakar khususnya dalam bidang perkayuan ataupun pembuatan perabot.
Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Sports now, the Para Badminton World Championships. National para shuttler Chia Liek Ho was crowned the world champion for a record 8th time after defeating his Indonesian rival Deva Arismusti in the final on Sunday. The 2020 Tokyo Paralympic men's singles champion claimed the first set 21-15, but his rival fought back and clinched the second set 16-21. Liek Ho, however, remained resilient and outclassed Deva in the rubber set, winning 21-15 to claim the crown and defend his title. The victory marks his 8th win over the Indonesian ace in 15 meetings. Liek Ho clinched his previous 7 singles titles in 2005, 2007, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017 and 2022. Meanwhile, Liek Ho also won the doubles title with Muhammad Fariz Anwar when they defeated India's Chirag Barreta Rajkumar 21-17, 21-18 in the final. It was his 6th world title in doubles. On to football, the German Bundesliga, Harry Kane struck twice, including a stoppage time winner, to guide Bayern Munich to a 2-1 victory over RB Leipzig on Sunday. Kane had a much-desired start to the game as he hit the woodwork with a 5th-minute header. The England skipper finally put Bayern ahead in the 56th minute with a crisp, low shot into the bottom corner. Leipzig pulled one back 14 minutes later when Benjamin Sesko's deflected shot beat Bayern's goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, sending him the wrong way. As the game seemed to be heading for a draw, Kane yet again emerged as a hero, drilling a powerful low-drive shot into the net during stoppage time to snatch the 3 points. With the win, the Bavarians maintained their second spot with 53 points, 8 points behind leaders Bayer Leverkusen. In another match, Stuttgart missed out on a 5th straight league victory as they were held to a 1-0 draw by Köln at home. Stuttgart's top scorer, Serhou Guirassy, was close to breaking the deadlock in the first half, but his header went wide. 8 minutes after the interval, Enzo Mio gave the home side the lead by drilling in a low shot thanks to his teammates' brilliant cutback pass. The lead lasted for only 9 minutes when Köln's Eric Marta was left unmarked at the far post with enough time to punish Stuttgart's oversight. Despite the setback, Stuttgart remained third, 6 points ahead of Borussia Dortmund. When we return, a story of an inspiring retired headmaster. Stay with us.
Ini adalah seni warisan kaum Melayu. Sekarang ni kalau kita perhatikan balik, yang mementabatkan tulisan Jawi ni kat mana? Semakin pupus dah sebenarnya tulisan Jawi ni. Tapi inilah sedikit usaha untuk kita teruskan legasi ni.
Saya adalah satu-satunya peserta Malaysia yang dapat siapkan test projek tu.
Kita harapkan dapat mereka lebih ramai pakar khususnya dalam bidang perkayuan ataupun pembuatan perabot.
Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Thanks for staying with us. In Selangor, the remand order against 5 men aged 22 to 52 arrested over an attack that resulted in the death of a 42-year-old car driver at Taman Pelangi Sebenyih 2 Kajang on Tuesday has been extended. District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Hassan said all the suspects were remanded for another 4 days until February 29th. In a statement on Sunday, Zaid said besides the initial 5 arrests, police have detained 2 more men aged 22 and 39 in Kajang, believed to be involved in the incident, bringing the total number of arrests to 7. Both suspects have been remanded for 5 days from February 23rd to 28th. Previously, it was reported that the victim, who was driving a Proton Saga, had been dragged out from his car and allegedly beaten to death by a group of men. The incident was believed to have occurred when the victim allegedly tried to flee after being involved in an accident with a food delivery rider. It was said that the victim was chased by members of the public to Taman Pelangi Sebenyih 2 before his car skidded and hit the fencing of a residential area. Before we bid you good night, here's a story of a retired headmaster who is inspiring people to pick up reading as a habit. An avid reader himself, Lee Kim Siu, maintains mini libraries in a park in Puchong for the public to enjoy. Best of all, anyone can borrow any number of his books for free and keep them for as long as they wish. FMT's Tivia Ragu has the story.
If you spend time at Taman Wawasan Recreational Park in the mornings, you've likely run into Lee Kim Siu. The friendly retired headmaster is usually here from 9 a.m. onwards, maintaining the mini libraries he has set up at various spots of the park. The 89-year-old maintains a total of 5 mini libraries with books that can be borrowed by anyone for free.
Everybody one time can take 5 books. One family can take over 30 books. The time limit is not limit. 1 year return can, 2 years, 3 years also can. There's no limit.
An avid book lover himself, Lee set up the mini libraries so more people could discover the joy of reading. Despite his age, Lee still walks to the park every single morning to clean the space, arrange the books, and stamp them. Lee has always been very generous with his books, having previously donated some to libraries in Seremban, Kuala Lumpur, and Selangor, as well as Thailand and China. As of now, he claims there are nearly 30,000 books in Malay, English, and Chinese in his libraries.
I think Malaysia must even the Chinese one. Every village has one library. That's good. That's my idea. No.
The friendly Lee is a familiar sight here. Many people stopped to chat with him while spending time at the park.
Well, I saw these uncles every day, every morning also came and do some volunteer work here. Before set up the library, this uncle is actually do all the volunteer work for the cleaning the park. So a lot of good books here, very useful books here.
Lee's goal for now is to continue maintaining his mini libraries and possibly opening more in the future. So the next time you're in Taman Wawasan Recreational Park, give Lee a wave and a smile, and don't forget to check out his books. Divya Ragu and Terence Stowe, FMT Lifestyle for Nightline.
As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look as cities across China have been aglow with lantern displays and cultural performances and festive activities staged to celebrate the Lantern Festival. With that, I'm Muhammed and Hamdan. Thanks for tuning in and stay safe.